Hey everybody, and good Monday evening to you. It's Weather for Weather Geeks time. We have a lot of interesting things to talk about on this Monday evening. Some serious heat looks to be heading our way as we head towards next weekend and especially into early next week. We also, of course, have some rain chances to discuss this week. Let's first start out by taking a look back at what happened over the weekend. Now, of course, Saturday got off to a very wet start across much of the area, and officially at the airport on Saturday, we had over an inch worth of rain, and then a lot of the area was dry on Sunday, and just about the entire area has been dry thus far on this Monday. But of course, for the month of June so far, we're running above the average, mostly thanks to what happened on Saturday at the airport. 2.83 is where we stand. Now, when we look at the radar totals over the last 48 hours, so basically dating back to Saturday evening, a lot of the area has been dry since that point. But in case you missed it over the weekend, it rained like crazy, not far to our south. Unfortunately, some big-time flooding problems. Now, these are just 48-hour totals. There were some higher amounts or some higher rainfall rates well before Saturday evening down across the panhandle of West Virginia, parts of eastern Ohio, western Pennsylvania as well, and unfortunately a handful of fatalities down in Ohio County, West Virginia, as a result of the heavy rain, mudslides, and flooding problems that that kind of hilly terrain went through over the course of the weekend. All right, this evening, not much going on weather-wise. A couple of showers are starting to sprout up closer to Zanesville and heading to the east side of Columbus. And yeah, we could see a shower around here, certainly, before the night is through. High-res Futurecast is not going to show much for tonight. I don't think it rains much tonight. But yeah, there could be a couple of showers pivoting on through. Only an isolated clap of thunder, a possibility. Most of us won't hear any thunder. Now, the near-term forecast for the next few days, we don't have any major weather features heading our way until Thursday. But what we do have on Tuesday is a pretty cloudy day coming up, and a little impulse in the atmosphere will probably kick up, I should say. More numerous rain drops than we had across the region today. A lot of us have been dry so far today, but right around midday Tuesday, some showers pushing through. There might be a clap of thunder with this activity, and a thunderstorm will be a possibility Tuesday afternoon, and a shower here and there. Again, it's not a washout, but it's going to be a wetter day overall than Monday has turned out to be. Now, as we head into the day on Wednesday, I think a lot of this day is probably rain-free across the area, with more in the way of sunshine than we had during the first stages of the week. Might be a pop-up shower or a storm. Now, Wednesday is probably going to be a severe weather day, especially towards the evening and especially way out to our west. Western Ohio, parts of Indiana, Illinois as well. You can see those thunderstorms cropping up right there. So it'll be a stormy Wednesday evening in Indianapolis and Louisville and maybe eventually Cincinnati and Dayton. But as these storms keep pushing east, of course, it's going to be the middle of the night before a lot of this activity tries to push into the eastern half of Ohio. Not expecting much severe weather at this point around here. Maybe a dying line of showers and perhaps some thunder late Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Now, the weather modeling over the last 24 hours or so has sped up this front on Thursday to the point where I think it's going to turn into a pretty nice second half of the day Thursday. There might be a shower or even a thunderstorm around through about lunchtime, but as the afternoon wears on, the dew point should start coming down. There'll be a breeze. In fact, it'll be actually a pretty windy afternoon in parts of northwest Ohio. It's probably not windy per se around here, but a noticeable breeze Thursday afternoon. So again, with that day 3 severe weather outlook on Wednesday, slight risk level 2 out of level 5. That's highlighted in western Ohio, Michigan, a good chunk of Indiana as well. And while the slight, or I should say the low end level 1 risk extends all the way into western PA, I just am not real impressed with the severe weather prospects around here with that front. Now, in the wake of the front, now it's not exactly going to feel like October out there, but there'll be a nice dew point drop Thursday afternoon and later Thursday evening into the overnight. Friday looks like a decent day with perhaps a passing shower with a secondary front swinging through, but overall we'll get a nice little respite from the warmth and humidity, but it is a brief one because the dew points start coming back up over the weekend. And the temperature is certainly going to come up as well. We've got some bona fide heat coming our way. Are we going to have a dry weekend? I think that's likely at this point, but I don't want to rule out just yet the possibility that we get grazed by some thunderstorms overnight Saturday night. I think Saturday during the day, thunderstorms will be likely from the Arrowhead of Minnesota through the UP of Michigan, parts of Quebec and Ontario as well. These thunderstorms may eventually kind of cascade southward somewhere across New England, maybe as far south as the Mid-Atlantic. Odds are favoring a miss for us at this point, but you know, in this kind of a setup where things are cascading from northwest to southeast, I've seen this happen before where, you know, 5 or 6 days out, you might think a lot of this activity is going to miss us, but as we get closer to the event, maybe some of these storms will kind of pinwheel to the south, and it might be something we have to deal with, especially Saturday night. But at this point, Monday evening, I think it's a low chance. I think odds are favoring at this point a dry weekend. It's just something I'm going to keep an eye on for the next few days. And confidence continues to increase that some serious heat is heading our way. I've been talking in the longer range portions of these Weather Geek videos that we're not expecting any, real hot weather anytime real soon. And well, that was the case about a week ago, but over late last week and especially over the weekend, the modeling really started to pinpoint a big ridge of high pressure wanting to set up shop over the Ohio Valley, the Mid-Atlantic states by next weekend and especially into early the following week. So we're talking 7-8 days from now. But with this configuration at the jet stream level, that's a signal for some heat across the region, that is for sure. So here's what we've done with our high temperature forecasts. Nothing to write home about through Friday, but then Saturday begins the warm-up. We get into the mid-80s Saturday, a 90 Sunday, and perhaps a 92 on Monday. And just beyond this 7-day forecast, not going to surprise me at all if we have 2 more 90-degree days to follow during Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. And, if we hit 90, which it looks like we will, by Sunday and Monday, that's right on schedule, or very close to right on schedule. The 30-year average date of our first 90 of the season is June 22nd. We had it on June 17th, tomorrow's date, last year. Pretty hot stretch during mid-June back in 2024, but the average date is June 22nd. So yeah, we're right on schedule for some heat climbing our way as we head into next week. It's not going to break any records or anything like that, but it's going to be notable considering it hasn't been an especially hot season thus far. But pool weather is coming by the upcoming weekend and early next week. In future editions of Weather for Weather Geeks this week, we'll talk about maybe that small thunderstorm chance over the weekend. We'll talk about what lies beyond the heat that's likely to build our way in the medium range. So we'll talk about those topics and much more coming up this week on Weather for Weather Geeks. Thanks for watching on this Monday evening. I'll see you right back here on Tuesday.